And he does a lot of talks on vulnerability and helping us shift our reality in that area. Let me see how many of you are in here. Already 16. Not that many, actually. But I'm sure YouTube's filling up, and I'm sure more will be here in a minute. But so the idea here was to do a live call with some of the students. So it's going to be a shorter call today. If you guys can hear me out there, put a comment in really quick so we know you're out there. And so I want to see some comments come up. I think they pop up on the screen when I'm doing it on the cell phone. I'm not sure though. Because I'm doing it on the cell phone. There we go. Yep, I can hear you. Nice. Hey guys, what's up? Now, just so you guys know, if I ask them to comment, it's typically a little delayed. They gotta get to start typing and stuff. Yeah. So really quick, what we've been doing is they've been doing about a week, 2 weeks of what we call the intensive and the advanced. They're just starting the advanced intensive. And in the intensive, what they go through is 5 hours or so of model work a day where they're working with different women and we're breaking down the energetics of communication, feeling, being in turn on, setting boundaries, saying no, playing with their sexual energies as much as their heart energy and how they feel. It's all the embodiment stuff. And I want to ask you guys, and Eddie's already been through a lot of this, and so Eddie is helping to take them out when we go out and start meeting people, socializing, and practice socialization skills. So I want to ask you guys, was it what you expected, or is it a little different?
This a little different.
There were different women, and we're hold on one sec. Here you go.
Yeah, it's definitely a little different. Coming into his work, I thought we were gonna work especially in this part, we're gonna work in the conversations or like, just to be honest, I thought lines and routines has everything to do with conversations. But as we're going into the second week and we breaking down all the energetics, I realized that words are really not that important at all. It's just how I convey my intentions to people.
But
through
you
my
just
energy.
nailed it. How I convey my intentions is all of it. Like you've been nailing it all day. Nikki calls you. What does Nikki call you? Are you going to tell the audience?
Her Colombian Latin brother,
Lover.
Latin lover.
Yeah. Brother, lover. Yeah, it's a big difference. Okay,
Yeah, huge difference.
and you surrendered trying to figure out what to say.
Exactly.
And now you're just enjoying the women.
Absolutely, just enjoying it, and more than that, I'm just letting my body do the talking. Letting the energy flow through my chakras, my lower chakras and my heart chakras.
And how are all the women responding to you? There's 9 women, and it's been 10, 11 women in the group today. How are they all responding to you different now that you're opening up? Like,
oh, they don't know. I'm sure these guys will see the videos later. I had a girl just dropping down on her knees.
Oh my God,
a lap dance. Nikki pretty much hugging me and almost, this close and kissing me. It's just like the energy, they couldn't resist my energy. And I wasn't saying much. And the fun part about all this is that I'm so in command of my energy that I'm able now to shut it off completely.
yeah.
And once I shut it off, women feel that immediately. The first time I did that to one of the models today, she reacted. I'm like, what happened? Like, did you actually felt that? And it was just me dropping back into my body and shutting off the energy. So it's so energetic, guys.
So what you guys are not realizing is I had them today practice disconnecting from the women and being able to pull, because guys get really codependent. They're afraid to disconnect. They're afraid to say no to women. So they were actually practicing saying no, setting boundaries, shutting their energy off, pushing women away, making women feel like they're being pushed back. And he was nailing it today. And it's odd that when you reject a woman like that really well energetically, how much she kind of likes it.
She does. They were actually just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You just do that.
And they reach out and they want you back. And so if you're doing a good job. Now, the reason a lot of this work at the models, they're also not, when you're not doing it right, they're not easy on you, are they?
They're not.
Yeah.
They're very honest.
Yeah.
They just tell you. I mean, it was at one point when you're not connecting with them and they don't feel your intentions through
thank you.
They don't feel the energy through the connection, they won't move. I have models today that it just took me over 2 minutes just to establish that connection. That connection was the important thing. Once that connection is there, then they can feel your energy. Once the connection was gone, they will move. They won't even flinch at you. It makes it challenging, but it also makes it rewarding because you know you're working something to your body, and you know that what you're doing is actually working. It's not just boo.
Not just boo. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Do you have anything you want to say, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, one of the most important things I've learned so far, at least for me specifically, is receiving. You know, for so long,
That's huge.
I wasn't enjoying the world around me. I was so closed off. I was making myself numb. And once I really just started to appreciate the person in front of me, find something that I really enjoyed about them, and just take in that feminine energy, I felt like my body could just relax. Like, I felt like I could just finally just be myself. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is
So there was
easy now.
there's a distinct literal, not metaphorical difference between pushing and receiving the energy, and just
Yeah.
letting the feminine energies, in a sense, service you. It kind of sounds wrong, but
It's true, yeah.
but it's kind of taking care of you. And how many guys and how much were you guys ever guilty? And I want to ask Eddie this too, of not letting you trying to do everything and not letting the women take care of you energetically.
Oh, I 100% did that. I definitely did that.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And how draining was that on your body?
It's fucking killing me. It was killing me. And when I stopped doing that, it was like instantly.
And
I
how
was
much
like,
more
oh,
did they
man.
like it?
Oh, they loved it. They saw how much they affected me. How I was like, God, like, I'm looking at like Nikki today. I'm like, God, they're so freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
And she'd just be like, all right, like,
Which
yeah.
Nikki? We have more than one Nikki, by the way.
The singer,
The singer.
singer Nikki, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh man, like I just love being around you, and just it just feels good when they,
Yeah.
you have this effect on me, and you're not ashamed of having that effect on you.
They don't dress up not to have an effect on you guys. They don't dress the way they do. They don't do the stuff they do not to have an effect on you. Beauty needs a witness, and that's really what's going on here. Is when you're that solid guy that witnesses them, the guy they really want to witness them, they get really turned on. So
Oh,
and
absolutely.
can you talk about letting that energy in? Then I want to ask Eddie because we haven't talked to Eddie yet.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was at one point during the room, I think it was yesterday, we were all starting to feel drained. This is when Brian hit this exercise and he noticed that we weren't letting women, their beauty affect our bodies. And in fact, energize us. Once I surrendered and once I start receiving the energy, it's like I just had two rebels.
I
don't
know,
about you,
right?
Tim,
It
but
was like you had a cup of coffee, and
absolutely. I feel so energized, so empowered, so masculine. And all I have to do is just drop my wantingness to express, to want, just receive. That was powerful.
Awesome. Thank you, Luis. And did you want to share? Because I know for you,
Yeah.
vulnerability was a big part because you were always pushing too. You were trying to take care of everything.
I was always trying to take care of everything, and vulnerability for me was the biggest icebreaker for everything. And the minute I dropped the wanting to impress the girl, the wanting to, you know, I was telling the guys earlier. What is it about me that I can make her like about me versus me trying to like her? What is it about her that I find intriguing? The beauty that I can find in her, and that helped me establish my vulnerability was to expose myself and really who I am and open my heart to her. And that created so much interest and so much tension, but the good tension. It was a very sexual tension. It was a very turn-on tension. Um, and I keep trying to tell guys, the more vulnerable you are, that's your biggest asset and that's your biggest power. Because not a lot of guys can be, not a lot of guys know how to be or are afraid to be. And once you can drop all that fear and anxiety wrapped around, exposing who you are, then everything starts shifting your way. Like Luis, I notice him as a completely different person today versus last week. Today, he's just such a fucking, masculine and sexual energized dude. And he's being so vulnerable with it. Like, I see how the women are just attracted to him. Like, there was this one girl walking her dog. She remembers him, but he does not remember her. He told me he remembers the dog. and she remembers him, and that just shows how much of an impact he had on her. And he was just so open with her, and he was just so masculine. He just really brought that cock in, and he really just walked up to her with his cock forward, and she just took it all in. It was just magical to see. I'm standing and watching, like, fucking Luis go, you know, and I'm just so happy to see how he shifted. And same thing with Tim. You know, I noticed last week he was just, you know, every interaction he was just getting and receiving and receiving and receiving. And today it was a lot of heavy energy for him, and that release with him. And for the first time, he was actually exposed. And I asked him how he felt, and he's like, it feels weird, but he was still establishing connection while he's down, while he's feeling angry, depressed, exposed, heavy, the headaches that he's having. And he's just like, oh my God, I never knew I can share this with people. And I'm like, duh, that's the point. So this thing that we're doing here is just really trying to create your reality to how you fantasize your world to be. And this is really the ultimate goal.
Awesome. That was beautiful, beautifully said. We definitely got to have Eddie on the channel more often because he's a good speaker. And so for you guys out there that are watching this, I want to get these guys back to work. Before I do, I want to check with you all and see if you guys have like 1 or 2 questions for these guys, then we're going to send them on their way. Energy work on another level, wrote Logan. Awesome. I'm jealous. You can be here too, Andrew. Oh, it's Andrew Shantz. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely be here, buddy. He's in New York. So anybody got any questions? And Andrew, if you got some people over there. Oh, how did the chicks respond to this depression? Yeah, you were the depressed one, right?
Yeah, so I've actually had a couple of days where I was depressed. And what's been interesting about it
by the way, you're going through the depression and stuff that's repressed inside of you that you're letting go of, right?
Yeah. This is stuff that it gradually feels lighter. It doesn't just stay and you don't dwell on it. You don't wallow in it. You feel it and then you start to let it go. And one of the things we've really been focusing on here so far has been keeping our heart open and connecting with the tree. Even can I open my heart just a little bit to this?
Pretty hippy dippy, huh?
But it's shit. If it works, it works. And what's so funny is there's some of the best interactions I've had with women were when I was in a heavier state, or even where I was angry. One of the best days I had was I was at Venice, and there was this incredibly hot blonde Chilean woman, and I was so pissed. But it was like she was a magnet. She was standing like 4 or 5 feet past her friend, and she walked all the way around her friend to come near me, even though I was pissed off and I was showing it. But I still showed up. I showed up, and I wanted to connect with her, and that's what mattered.
And that's the power that women don't mind your emotions. They don't mind your anger. Matter of fact, they like it. They want all your emotions. And all you nice guys out there that are putting those emotions away and burying them under the surface are actually pushing the women away because you're pushing your power away, which ultimately anger turns into courage, which then turns into acceptance and love later. So kind of let that in really quick. So great answer. Thank you. Let's get 1 or 2 more. Let's go to this chat.
We got one from this side, Brian, if you want to take that.
Let me take this question, then we'll take that one. Are any of you nice guys, and what changes did you see over the past week or so? So we've definitely been working on the nice guy syndrome. Anybody want to comment?
Who wants? Nice guy too? We're both nice guys.
Oh, I think all
of us are.
Were you a nice guy in the beginning?
Oh, absolutely. Jesus, I was the epitome of a nice guy.
You want to say anything about that?
What was the question?
Are any of you nice guys, and what changes have you seen in the last week? Now, you went through it a while ago, so
Yeah.
you can talk about from your original experience.
We're all nice guys, so don't think that there are people that aren't. I mean, even the people that you see that are like, oh my God, this guy can get any chick. They're all still nice guys. And nice guy is not a bad thing. It's just how nice are you, and what is it about you that's being nice?
Are you nice to a fault? Like you can't say.
Correct. Yeah, you can be nice to a fault. There's a difference between being a gentleman, a badass gentleman, and then being a nice.
Ooh, I like that, badass gentleman.
Yeah,
That's good. That's a book title.
yeah.
Okay. You want to jump in there? Okay. Were you a nice guy?
Absolutely. I mean, we're still breaking that nice guy ever, with these workshops and as I go through it. But what I have now is an awareness that I didn't have before. Thanks to Brian and the work that he's done with me, now I can catch myself the minute when I'm doing something that is truly not what I want, and I'm just agreeing because I don't feel worthy enough to be on a date with a girl. When I just said, they say, she wants to do something and I really don't want to do it, and I'm just agreeing with her just for the fact that I don't feel worthy of being with her. Now I can catch myself doing that. In the minute, I just stand my ground and I say like, no, I don't want to do that. And I done it here in the field. There's some girls that just, they want to pull
He's
me
on
in.
fire. I gotta
They,
get
they
it
just
out.
think they're busy. They think they're in a hurry. And I'm like, no, you're not. I was telling Tim, I cut a bunch of girls saying like, no, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, no, you're not. And
How do they respond?
they just crack. They crack laughing. They stay in the conversation, and they might have a boyfriend or not, but I still ended up with their contact information. Which at the end, that was my intention. It's just to go and connect and get the contact info to take them on a date, regardless whether they're lying or not. And that to me is breaking that nice guy. The
There you
old
go.
nice guy will be like, "Oh, sorry, you have a boyfriend. Sorry to bother you." No,
You can even take it a step further. Like Luis has been freaking killing it out there. Going up to girls, they'll say, "Oh, I've got a boyfriend." Be like, "Well, do you love him?" It's like, you horny bastard. All right. And I mean, we're having some crazy experiences where, like, even if they're married, even if they
Yeah.
show you the ring, it's like, well, I mean, I talked to a woman. I was like, "Well, you have a sister?" And yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
that's a
talked to
crazy
this
story.
woman. She was married. She's on the phone with her sister. Like, can I talk to your sister on the phone? She puts me on speaker. She's like rooting for me to get her sister's number, even though I was hitting on her to start. So you never know.
And you did get her sister's number.
Oh yeah, I got the sister's number.
You guys were chatting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it was pretty awesome. So
yeah.
that's another nice guy thing. Is like, even if they're married or they've got a boyfriend, sometimes the connection isn't with them. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like with the next person that they introduce you to.
Yeah, having a good girlfriend that introduces you to other girls is always an amazing thing. Once you're past being in the friend zone, if you're getting friend zoned by everybody, having a good girlfriend just sucks.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's take your question over there, Andrew.
All right. So this is from Ricky, and I found it kind of interesting. How easy is it when you learn it?
How easy is it when you learn what? What is he referring to?
Well, that's all he wrote, but I think he wrote it at the time you guys were talking about the workshop and these breakthroughs the guys were having. So I think he's asking about how is the learning process? What is it like to be? How do you learn these things? And
I just have a simple quote. So it's hard. It's really hard until it's easy. Then you wonder why it was hard. That's what I always say.
I like that.
I guess my answer would be, it's going to be a difficult process. You're going to go through confronting some demons that you probably didn't even expect to have to confront, because there's stuff that you've repressed, that you've actively or subconsciously repressed, and that stuff's going to come up. But the thing is, once it does, you'll feel so much lighter. I mean, there were days where I was crying during the model part, and then when I'm going out in the field and I'm talking to every hot blonde every which way, went on like an hour Insta date with a girl, and I had been feeling like it was the worst day of my life, not 4 hours earlier. And stuff rapidly changes. So you have to be prepared for your body and your mind to go through rapid change, and for your world, the way you look at the world, that is going to shift. That was something I was definitely not prepared for. That my worldview has shifted very slightly, and then suddenly it's like, oh man, my worldview is totally different all of a sudden.
No, I definitely agree with him with that. The work has been very challenging, especially in the emotional part. But it is very rewarding to come up on the other end and to see that you have command of your emotions. That the emotions are not you; they're just an experience that you're having, and they cannot control you. And the other thing is that yes, it does get pretty easy. All you have to do is just show up. And say,
When
"Hi."
you first see, I forget what they were like when they first come. When you first came to us, I remember the very first workshop, you were a slave to your emotions. You were so dramatizing them and wrapped up in them. And then, oh yeah,
Just remember.
you went from massive drama to total numbness and then you would go back to drama, then to numb, and then finally you dropped it all. The whole cycle. That's amazing. I forget sometimes they change so much. I go through. And okay. Okay, this is a question. I might have to get to answering these questions because I want to get you guys back out there. I don't want to take too much. What I'd like to do is maybe get you guys for a follow-up in a few weeks down the road to find out where you're at, what's going on with you. We'll get you on a call, a group chat, a group call. Does everybody like that idea out there? How about we get these guys back in a few weeks? We'll get them on a live call. We'll get them wherever they're at. We'll get them on Zoom together and we'll chat about their experiences. Yeah, let's see what they're writing here. Yeah. I would love to see them again. Yeah, I'd love to see them again. They got to go out and meet some girls, guys. So we're going to send them out to go have some fun. Eddie, anything you want to say in close? Eddie's kind of like one of our coaches that kind of helps out here and there. He's got a business, so it's hard for him to work full time, but he would love to. So
yes, I really enjoy this. Yeah, the just watching the energy shift from both these guys, from Tim and Luis, and it's definitely encouraging, and it's definitely amazing to see how much a person can grow while they're doing the work. It's the people that don't step into tension and that are afraid to do the work, they don't get the results, and then wonder why they don't get the results. And it's really that simple. It's just wanting to face your emotions and wanting to face your demons, like Tim's doing right now. And I was explaining to him how I can relate to him because I faced my demons for a long time. And then Brian taught me to welcome all those demons, welcome all those negative emotions, because those are so repressed throughout your whole life. You don't even realize that they are. And then once you can let go of that, and once you can welcome that, and then just let that be a part of you and just grow from there, the results are there. It's tremendous, and the world is completely open to you. And I'm really proud of these guys and how much they've grown. I can't wait to see, what work they're going to do right now. I told Luis I want to see him get laid by the end of the day. So
you can't come back.
I can't go back.
You can't come back until you get laid.
And isn't Eddie's wife hot and awesome? Beautiful.
Dude, yeah.
She's very
So
supportive.
hot.
Yeah.
Supportive.
She's been helping out in the workshops, and she scares some of you guys, I know.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
terrifying because she's ridiculously hot.
So
Actually, thank you for saying that, because had I not done the fearless work and all those changes that I've done, I met her 3 years after I did the work, and I was actually still doing the work. And had I not done that, there's no way in hell I would have married her. In fact, she sees my old photos of me from 10 years ago, and she's like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "That's me." She goes, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. Look, that's my face." She goes, "That is not you. You're lying. Shut up." And she's like, "You're such a different person today than you were prior to actually I started Fearless. I started Fearless in 2015, and I was showing her a picture from 2013. So literally 2 years of a difference, and that just shows you how much power you have within yourself.
you will look like a different human being when your subcommunication changes, your embodiment changes. You literally look like a different human being. So, guys, send them some love. They're gonna head out, and Luis has got his work cut out for him. They're all going to be waiting for your next Zoom call to find out what happened.
I'll tell
Okay.
you what happens.
Yeah. So
Look at that. See,
part
confident. I
two.
like it.
Okay, guys. Knock them dead. All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Take care. Thank you. Let me clip that on there. Okay, guys. Let's see I want to see what's in the chat here really quick. I know it's a short one, but that's because we're out here working, and I want to keep these guys working. Awesome. Yeah, this is the 2-week intensive they're doing right now, Boulevard, and they're just today's day 1 of the 2nd week, so they've got a bunch more days to go to tear it up. Luis made a drastic change a few days ago. It was really quite impressive how much he shifted a few days ago, and how much the women are just loving him right now. He dropped some serious numbness. He was hiding a lot of emotion from women. Okay. Any other questions out there for me? Because there's going to be a shorter call today, so I was going to keep it around. I don't even know how long I've been on right now. Let's see. 5:20. So probably not much longer. About a half hour to 45 minutes. Let me go to the chat because I see the chat's going nuts. Okay, from the Q&A, how to bring this newfound energy to a person who has put in. Okay, I already got that one. I think I already answered that one. How to bring this to a person who's put. Oh, okay. How to bring this newfound energy to a person who has put you in the friend zone before you knew any of these skills. That's really easy. Go out and get that. The easiest way to do that is go out and practice this stuff with women that you're not in the friend zone with. Get really good, get to where you're naturalized, to where you're making these women giggle and laugh, and you're flowing with them, and then go be around the girl you were in the friend zone. If you can pull that off, because then what'll happen is you'll be a different person because you'll have integrated it with yourself. If you try to practice on the girl you're in the friend zone with, that's going to be really fucking hard. That's the fastest answer, and the most solid thing you can do. So get out there and hustle and meet new women, and then come back to that other woman. The other thing is completely let go of that woman. I don't mean that you have to not be around her, but let go of any attachment to any outcome with her. The more attachment to outcome you can let go of with the girl that put you in the friend zone, like for some reason I almost got the hiccups or something. The more you can let go of that attachment to outcome, like I'm happy either way. I'm gonna love myself either way. I think I'm awesome either way. Whether she likes me or keeps me in the friend zone, the more easily you'll be able to start to shift your reality around her. And so that's a fast answer. Okay. But that's worked for me powerfully. When I got really attractive to women and I started dating and having fun with women, then I got around the old women I used to be around. They're like, Jesus, Brian, you're different. You've changed. And they would look at me different, start flirting with me. It was a whole different reality. And if I had tried to make that shift with them, because I have so many attachments and so many stories with them, it would have been really hard. A lot harder. Not that it can't be done, but that if I was to talk about any one girl specifically, I'd have to talk about, okay, we got to take a look at boundaries. We got to deal with all the resentment. We got to deal with the anger. You got to get that all processed out so you can be yourself around it. So, okay, cool. Almost missed that question. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we're doing one in Europe next month, and we're doing it in. We usually do them in Bucharest, but since Bucharest is closed, we're doing one in Turkey, in Istanbul, Turkey, and so that'll be next month. And then the one after that, I'm not sure. I'm thinking we should have one. I don't think we're going to have one at the end of the year this year, but probably the beginning of next year, May, somewhere in that range. Oftentimes we usually have around October. So if you're interested in the one next month, I don't know if there's any openings. Usually they're sold out. Contact one of the coaches. What can it mean when a girl you were talking to keeps going cold? She's probably not interested. There's most women that are interested. If they're going to push you, they're not going to go cold. They're going to poke at you. They're going to give you shit. But if you're literally going cold and turning their energy away from you, they're probably not interested. Now, there is a couple exceptions to that rule, but there are some women just out of nervousness go cold, and that's the way they test. But the bulk of women, if they're interested, don't just go cold on you. That doesn't mean you still can't do anything with it. You can still polarize. You can still cause a woman that goes cold to shift on you. But I would say most of the time. Okay, I'm going to pop over to the Q&A. Andrew, if you got anything, I'll come to that in a second.
Nothing right now.
How do you trigger repressed emotions? Are you talking about in yourself, Rogue? Are you trying to bring up all your old emotions? You gotta learn to. One of the best things you can do is learn to meditate and sit with your emotions. Read Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. That's a good book. Learn to release, where you practice welcoming what's coming up inside you and being with it, sitting with it. You got to learn to identify feelings in your body, like subtle feelings in your chest and your stomach, because the feelings make up the emotions. In other words, sadness makes up, there's a bunch of feelings that make up the feeling of sadness or anger. You got to learn to identify that stuff. In the releasing week-longs, we practice going through tons of emotions and learning to feel them, because so many people are so bad at feeling their own emotions, and then releasing attachments and aversions to those emotions. This idea that I got this emotion means something serious, or this emotion is real. I got to fix this emotion, or I want to push this emotion down. And as you shift through all of that, everything starts to change in your life, because then you start to be able to release them, because you can't release what you can't accept. If you're constantly fighting with your emotions, you won't be able to release them. You won't be able to shift them. Okay. Guys, I think that's it for the day. I think I've answered most of the questions. I know it's a different one because I'm standing out here freezing my ass off. I know I've got all this clothes on, but it's fucking cold right here right now for me. and freezing my ass off. And we got a workshop going on. So we'll do another one of these later. Do you guys like it when I do this stuff in the field and talk to the students? Is this interesting for you guys when we come out here? Okay, cool. It's different. We wanted to try it today and see how it worked out. If it's working out, I might do more of this. I might go out and do more of this, walking around, talking with people outside, especially when it's a little warmer out. In the shade here, it's a little cold. And kind of go from there. So with that said, I'm going to run out here and join these guys, see how they're doing, make sure they're all having a good time and talking to the beautiful ladies and making friends and making making romance, I guess is the best way to put it, having a good time. And I'll talk to you guys a little later or next week. And in a couple weeks, I'll see about getting these guys back and seeing how they're feeling and going from there. Okay, guys, have a beautiful day. And remember, only the confident really live. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.